How do you think Brodie Croft looked today?
Thought he looked like Brodie Croft, but in a better coloured jersey.
Leeds has won back-to-back Rugby League titles. The golden generation finally has its golden fleece. No England game, it seems, is complete without a Ryan Hall try. Jamie Peacock.
Kevin Sinfield.
Rob Burrow.
Jamie Jones Buchanan for Leeds. It's one of the most popular beards in rugby league now.
There aren't many in Super League that can do that.
We just want to be a great friend, and if we can all try and be a bit of a better friend from time to time, I think we have a bit of a better place to live in.
The Lot Pod is kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Fast Signs are an established family-run business who've been providing businesses around Leeds and West Yorkshire with effective signs and graphics for almost 30 years. Fast Signs are passionate about helping customers make a statement with signs that are eye-catching, effective and delivered fast. Hi everyone, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17A podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Weekly roundup time. I'm back, and my name is Eddie. Thanks to Reese for holding the fort for the last two podcasts. What a fantastic job Reese did. So he's having a rest from this one, and he's on the subs bench. And coming off the subs bench, it's producer Chris. How the devil are you?
I'm really well. Better than the weather.
I'm about to say, because the weather is awful.
Yeah, I actually walked.
Absolutely.
I walked down to the Lot Pod studio earlier.
Yeah.
And it
In this?
Yeah. It won't raining when I say I got
drenched. Come and pick me up. Come and pick me up. Yes, it's weekly roundup time. We are going to preview, obviously, the men's side as they travel to Warrington on Thursday. But just to make you all aware, we're also going to touch on Brad Arthur and the recent news towards the end of the pod. So that's coming up as well. Stick around for that. But I will start with some club news. As you all know by now, we've been doing these weekly roundups from the start of the 2024 season. And whenever Reese isn't here, I'm just not as good as the club news as Reese is. I'm really sorry. I just don't have the time to prep like Reese does. So I'm just going to gloss over some results and tell you some fixtures. But you know I do that anyway whenever I'm leading these weekly roundups. So it was a triple header at Headingley, and the women opened as the curtain raiser, and then sadly they lost 16-6 to St Helens. Did you see any of that game, Chris, at all?
Yeah, I watched most of it.
Yeah, what did you think to Rhino's performance?
I thought it was a good game. I thought the scoreline didn't really reflect it. I thought it was closer.
Yeah.
But it was really, it was cold. I think you spied me from the other side of the stadium and said, Chris, you look cold. You sent me a text message.
What I didn't tell you, what I'm revealing now is I took a picture of you.
Not looking cold.
I took a picture of you. You know, like you were shivering like a pooing dog.
And then I went and bought I think they must have had aircon on its stadium because I went and bought a jacket because I was that cold. And then I went and warm.
So sadly, the women lost to Saints.
It was a good game. They always are out there. But
I enjoyed it. Yeah, particularly Saints Leeds in the women's game. I think they're really, the both sides are of a similar quality. They always seem to be close games, but it's starting to annoy me that they do seem to have a bit of an upper hand. Don't you think in these fixtures?
They're a bit like the Saints men's team of old.
Yeah,
they're just really good at defence, aren't they? I'm not saying that about the Saints team now, but
not now.
Yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed it.
It's well worth getting down to. If you are listening to this, if you are watching this, you've never got down to one of these curtain raisers that the double headers at Headingley or elsewhere. If you can get down early, do get down because the women's side are probably the best Rhinos side and have been for the past few years. I've got down here as well. The under 18s won, or was this the academy? 36-14 against Cass. Interesting thing about that is Fergus McCormack at fullback. I like the idea of that. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Obviously, he's more of a 6, but I do
Yeah.
think he has the skills to interchange. And then there were 2 other things I've noted I've written down here. Law Jones Buchanan played for the academy, and Dax Jones Buchanan played for the under 18s. So, and I think Lee Smith's son and Matt Diskin's son are also in the academy, along with Kevin Sinfield's son. So it's clearly a third by the time they get to play Golden Generation coming through with the exact same names as the original Golden Generation. The under 18s have Hull KR up next, and the women travel to Warrington to play their women's side. So that's the club news in a whistle stop nutshell.
That's not on the Thursday, though, is it?
No, I think that's on Saturday, the women's game.
Or double header.
Yeah, I think they're all on Saturday. Forgive me if that's incorrect. Hold hands up. Reese is better at this stuff than me. On to the men's side. 2 changes have been made to the men's Rhino squad. Harry Newman has been cleared of a serious injury, but is not available for this game. So Lewis Roberts comes back into the squad for this wire game. And Justin Sangare is also out with a knee injury. So little Tom Nicholson-Watton is back in the squad. Just on Newman, Chris, phew, thank God it's not a long-term injury, right?
Me and Reese discussed this last week, and I said they shouldn't have played. Reese said they should have done.
So we're all blaming Reese.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not throwing him
under. Oh, no, I am.
Well, anyway, the way he played, I wish he hadn't played anyway, but just to top it off and getting injured. But at least it's nothing serious. And I mean, we're not talking lineup yet, but it gives McCormack another chance, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. The fact that the injury isn't serious is unique in itself with Harry Newman, because with injuries, he doesn't tend to do things by halves, does he? Usually, when he is injured, he's usually out for a significant amount of time. So thank God this is something minor or a week or 2. We don't know the full details yet, but when he did go off towards the end or when he was limping after the game, I thought, oh, this could be an unfair. Thank God it isn't. Lewis Roberts is back. Do you think he's a decent addition over Newman? Or would you like to see, I know we're talking squad later, but just whilst we're on Newman, or would you like to see McCormack get a go?
No, it'd be no McCormack for me.
Yeah,
Lewis. I think Roberts has got a tough job getting his spot back,
particularly just from that performance from Ned and Alfie in the game.
I mean, you can't not give them another chance, can you?
No, they've earned it. And Justin Sangare is out with a knee injury. Little Tom's chance at last to shine, Chris. Is he gonna get the nod? Is he gonna get the chance, do you think?
Well, I would either put Little Tom in or Ben Littlewood. Littlewood's massive.
He's enormous. He's absolutely.
He really impressed me in the pre-season games at Littlewood.
Yeah.
And I just think Warrington are quite a big, aggressive side, aren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe I'd get a bit more size. Because whatever you think of Sangare, you're losing some size, aren't you?
Yes, he's probably one of the biggest blokes in Super League.
So
he might not play like it, but he's certainly got the frame and stature for one of the biggest blokes. I think this is a real opportunity for Tom. Listen, we don't know if he's going to get it. Obviously, we are previewing and sharing our own opinions, but I think potentially this is a chance for him to get a run of games. You know, if Sangare's knee is, again, we don't quite know the length of his knee injury.
I'm more than happy with either Little Tom or Littlewood. I think
either or,
one of them two.
Or both.
Or both, yeah.
Yeah. Throw both in and give them both a chance. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what Chev does in terms of the squad. Just on the squad, jump in if I'm wrong here, but I've got written down Miller, Fussy Tua, McCormack, Momorowski, Hanley, Crawley in that combo. Oledsky, Jared, Gudemond, Reese, McDonald, Cam. Is that how you start? How you think Chev will start
it? Yes, but I would still start Ackers.
Would you bring Ackers in to start?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jared to the bench.
Jared to the bench because I think I think we should start with Ackers. I think Jared started for a while now, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Because Ackers has been injured, and I just think I don't know. I think it should be that
Time for Ackers to get a bit more game time in his legs.
And Jared's versatile anyway, isn't he? So if there's any injuries, we can shuffle people around.
Yeah,
so,
you can bring him on in other positions.
I know you can do that while he's on as well, but I'm just thinking if an outside back goes down or something, you can move Reece Martin, get Jared O'Connor
and push. Yeah,
and then if you need to give, if that happens and you need to give someone a rest, you can put Jared. Okay, Ackers can come off and you can shift it around. And
you can shuffle easier.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that starting Ackers off on the bench is the right move.
Yeah, he is a starting 80-minute hooker, right? So
exactly.
And I know he's had an injury and niggles and things and been in and out the side, but I do tend to agree. Part of me thinks Ackers should be starting.
The rest of it, yes, I think is sort of fine. I maybe start Esse over Gudemond.
Yeah.
Just to have a bit of size.
And then does the bench for you? Obviously, we'd have Jared on the bench, Gudemond on the bench, Lasone,
and then either of Little Tom or Littlewood.
Either one of those to come in.
I'm happy with either of those.
Yeah, toss of a coin. Yeah,
and it's still a fairly big bench, so I don't think we need an outside back this time. I think we'd be all right. But yeah, I'd like to see Ackers start.
Yeah,
I just don't think we've seen best of him. But maybe we did. I think didn't we? I think we played better at the start of the year, really.
Yeah,
than we are doing now.
Certainly the early parts of the year. Well, you look at, we can't be any worse than we were at the weekend because that London performance. First of all, I'm really glad that I didn't review it because I really felt for I'm going to say Chris, for Reece and Sam, because there just wasn't lots or enough there to get your teeth into. But that performance, we can't be any worse than that, Chris, because we stunk Headingley out. It's one of the worst games I've seen in many a year.
It were awful, wasn't it?
It was absolutely putrid. It was disgusting.
It was awful, but I almost wasn't that bothered, and I can't even explain why.
Yeah,
I don't know. It were like the worst thing I've seen
for many years. It was actually painful that we had to watch Golden Point. I know, obviously, we did win the game, which is fab, but if the ref would have blown it at 16 or whatever that minute was and said, right, everybody, we're done here, I think everyone would have said, yeah, everyone just go home. Everyone just go home. I don't know whether there's 20 minutes left or 10 seconds left. We've all seen enough. We don't have to be here.
Forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it. Go watch the England game. Go turn off. Forget this, because this was absolutely awful. I'd have just said, yeah, I agree, and I'd have gone home. So we can't. We must have some kind of reaction off the back of that.
Yeah, I don't think there should be Golden Point anyway, but I suppose that's a different discussion for a different time. But I don't see how you can talk about player welfare and then add an extra 10 minutes onto a game.
Add additional time to it, just to squeeze a result. No.
I think we were lucky that performance was against London. Although they did play well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I thought they played well in parts.
I think that's the best they played all year, but I just think forget about that, isn't it?
They already have.
It were 2 points, wasn't it? And it's just like can't play any worse than that. And in some respects, if they've got anything about them, they will want to put that right.
They will.
Playing absolutely is a good game to.
It's a good measuring stick in it to figure out where we are, where our concerns have been. Are they still there potentially?
Those players are not that bad.
No, They're not as bad as they're performing, that's for sure. They're a lot better.
They're not as bad as that. We might not have yeah. So it's actually I think it's a good game. It's a short turnaround, which can help.
Yeah, I always agree with that. Whenever there's a bad game like that, I always like to get the next game quickly to try and flush it out the system.
We've seen, haven't we, over last month or so with it being disrupted. It's not helped us.
No. Because we always say, soft restart, 4.12, whatever we're on, and then they come back and then they throw up another poor performance. So perhaps the more games, the better we can break out of and try and pick up some form. The 3 wins on the bounce.
I think so. I think, like I say, I think it's a good test of them. And if they've got anything about them,
they'll perform better.
Yeah.
Well, they simply cannot get any worse. Hold on your prediction. We'll come to that towards the end, as we always do. That's the squad. That's the club news. We did have reports. I think it was the day of the London game, kind of overnight, Friday time, whenever. Recently, we had reports from Australia, from Fox League and the Telegraph down in Sydney, linking Leeds Rhinos to Brad Arthur, suggesting that it would be a deal only until the end of 2024. What was your initial thoughts when you heard that, Chris? That it looks like it's going to happen. It seems to be gathering momentum. Press in Australia, press over here, kind of picking this up. So what were your initial reaction when you kind of read this news?
One thing Saturday's game did do is change my mind on this.
I think it changed everyone's mind. Anybody with any kind of doubt.
Well, when I first heard it, I just thought, what is the point?
Yeah.
I still feel a bit like that, to be perfectly honest. Like, what's the point? But having seen what they turned out on Saturday, it's like, yeah, I'm not bothered. Just get something.
Get him here now. Get him here now.
He can do it for 4 weeks if he wants. But I don't know. I really want to hear the clubs. If this happens, I want to hear the clubs
thinking around it,
because there's a whole load of questions there, isn't there?
There is, and I think Reese mentioned it on the London review with Sam. In fact, he definitely did. And I think he will bang on, as he usually is, that it's potentially something that a bit of a stopgap for Paul Rowley. It kind of leads into they've approached Salford about Rowley, are we calling him? And Blasters said, I want him. And then they've said, you need to calm down here because you've just gone. Brodie Croft's gone, Andy Acker's gone, and now you want the coach. So this is me and me putting 2 and 2 together, and they've potentially said, right, Paul can go. You'll have to pay us this amount, but he'll have to come in 2025. So we've got a bit of a potential playoff push.
Isn't he out of contract next year?
He signed a big deal, yeah.
No, he signed another deal.
I think so. Did he not sign something when Hull were? Or am I getting mixed up with Steve McNamara? Right, McNamara.
We're well informed, aren't we, me and you?
We are. Reese will be doing the same. The only difference is with Reese is he quickly Googles it to kind of clarify.
I'm not going to pretend.
Yeah, we just don't know. But
if he's out of contract next year, then that makes a bit more sense. But
does that line of thinking? Does that if that is the case? And again, I am putting 2 and 2 together. But if that was the case, would you be happy with Arthur coming in and then Rowley next year?
I'm happy with Brad Arthur coming in if they've got someone sorted. I'm not happy with it if they ain't got anyone sorted.
If they just bring Brad Arthur in and come the end of the year, we're doing this search again.
But I'm still not convinced that Rowley's the right person anyway, so it's a bit...
I absolutely agree, and we've said this before as well. It's not for me. He's not. Listen, and again, we've said this before. If he comes and he becomes the head coach, like all players, you back him and you get behind him and you support him. But he would be one of my lower ranked, like number 3, 4, fourth choice.
I was thinking with the Brad Arthur thing, and if he is coming for that, and then we've got someone lined up, I just wondered whether we've managed to get Justin Holbrook or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be a bit, you know what I mean? Because we could have persuaded him to go, and he's got a job, hasn't he? So it might be that he didn't want to leave his job. But like I say, whoever comes in will give him the full support. You know what we're like, so it's fine.
Yeah, we'll back him.
Rowley might turn out to be a masterstroke. I'm just not convinced. But
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so as long as if he is definitely only coming for till the end of the season, I just hope we've got somebody else lined up, because
off the back of that.
What about recruitment and
there's a lot up in the air,
and retention, or
you
know what I mean? So I know Ian Blease is
questions.
You'd like to think the coach has got some input, but
some input with it.
And I hope he doesn't, saying that not on Saturday's performance, but if he's coming to get some players.
Potentially. The new Perth NRL franchise comes over here for, what is it, 14 games, 12 games.
I like look at him.
Wins the grand final. Brodie Croft wins man of the match in the grand final, and he says, "Oh, you can come to me. You can come with me to Perth," and I'm like that. You bastard.
Cheers.
All right, thanks for the grand final win, but you've just took Brodie Croft and you buggered off into the sunset. I think the club are looking at it as in the fact that we are linked with him, and everyone's linking us with Brad Arthur. I don't think they've written this season off. I think they're looking at, no, if we get a coach, you've been saying this for the past couple of weeks, that, and you just said it now, this team isn't as bad as it's playing. So if we bring Brad Arthur in, I think the club are thinking, if we bring Brad Arthur in, the playoffs are very, very realistic. Some people listening to this might think, Eddie, that's a load of crap. Well, I think the playoffs are very, very realistic. A coach like Brad Arthur comes in with his pedigree and his quality, the players are going to want to play for him. They're going to up their performance. They're going to up their game. And the playoffs will be there. Very similar to 2022 we're on. He'll come in, give us the push all the way to the grand final. The only difference is this time we'll lift the trophy into the sky rather than losing.
It's not daft, and we're in a lot better position than we were when Rowan came in.
Oh, wow. Yeah, miles better.
With 4 points. 4 points off joint second place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're only 2 points off 6. Yeah. Now, there's loads of teams on 22 points from 2 to 5.
5.
There's no way we should be writing the season off, even if you didn't get Brad Arthur in. Do you know what I mean? We're not that. Like I said, 4 points off joint second. And the thing is, if you think we beat Warrington on Thursday,
which we will,
that's a 4-point game. Because we've taken 2 points off them and we've gained 2 points, haven't we? So that means we're only 2 points behind Warrington. If we beat Warrington on Thursday, we're only 2 points behind Warrington.
Yeah. It's a big game.
So
absolutely.
Saints have form's dropped off a cliff. They're only on 22 points. We're on 18. There's no way the season's over. What is the 11 games left?
I think so. Again, just guessing, aren't we? It's what we do. Reese fine-tunes it. We say things. Reese quickly Googles and either puts us right or says, yeah, that's correct. Courage of your convictions. Just say it.
11 games left. That's 22 points up for grabs.
Yeah, easily.
With 4 points off second.
Playoffs, grand final win. And then Brad Arthur can walk off into the sunset, can't he, with a Super League grand final winners medal and go and coach the new NRL outfit, Perth Bears.
If it's going to happen, it needs to happen fairly quick, otherwise it is bloody pointless.
Yes, you'd like to think it'll be within the next week, as we record this on Tuesday night. You'd like to think a week, 10 days max, they can get this thing over the line and get him over here. And then at least confirm it and then say, right, he's getting his visa. He's on his way. Similar to what they do with Rowan. Yeah. Ready for the grand final, push all the way.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then as soon as it happens, we'll release the new badge for Brad Arthur. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I've got that tweet ready, that X, bang, and we'll have them available instantly. Predictions to wrap things up for the Wire game. Are you heading over? You watching it on Sky?
I have not got a ticket because I've left it too late to get one delivered. So I think I'm going to head over.
Yeah.
But I ain't got a ticket, so I'm presuming you can just get one from ticket office.
Yeah, definitely.
But it all depends if I get my car back. I'm carless. Otherwise, I'll be itching a little.
Otherwise, hitching a ride. Someone will pick you up. Wear a Rhino scarf on 62. Someone's waving it. Someone will pick you up. What do you reckon, prediction-wise, Chris?
Warrington 12. Leeds Rhinos 26.
Yes. Perfect. Any try scorers in that?
McCormack to score first Leeds try.
Wonderful. That'll be amazing.
And then Ash and Momorowski to score another.
To score again. Brilliant. I think Leeds are going to win. I think they're going to batter them. I think we have to batter someone soon.
Some point.
We do. Some
I
point.
wish we were playing Saints.
Saying it all year. Need to batter someone. I'm going to say Leeds 32, Warrington 16. That's the roundup, everybody. Thanks to Chris. Thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening back. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, why haven't you done that yet? As we crawl our way up to 1,000 subs, please do head over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you search LotPod, that's us. That's our logo. That's just hit that subscribe button. You can also hit the notification bell and you'll be notified every time we either go live or upload some content to the channel. If you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify, if you're listening on iTunes, please do leave us a review. That just pops us up the podcast charts more than you'll know. If you're listening on Spotify, please do rate us 5 stars because we are worth it. And again, that just boosts us up the podcast charts. And if you enjoy what me, Chris, Reese, and all the regulars do, please consider subscribing to our Patreon page. The details will be pinned to the top comment on this YouTube channel, and they're also available on our X account at Lot17A. All of our content will always be free. The Patreon page is just there if you'd like to support us and chuck us a few quid so we can continue to grow and improve our content and our podcast studio and all of our equipment, etc. But if you can't, then it's absolutely fine. We love you anyway. And we'll be back with the match review panel for the Warrington game. Take care, everyone.